Hello literature connoisseurs. Let's begin chapter 19 of Nicolae. This is the final chapter of this abomination of a rehash pointless book. The chapter begins with Rayford being proud that Hattie supposedly pulled a fast one and instead of flying back to Nicolae she went somewhere else. Nicolae decided to talk to Rayford and try to get him to convince Hattie to get an abortion. Nicolae continues and wants to end his relationship with her and leave her with a little something so that it doesn't appear she pushed her out on the street. Rayford dodges more questions as Nicolae asks about his relationship with Buck. Nicolae sees through his ploy of saying I can't speak for anyone, which Nicolae takes as him saying a yes. Scene changes to Buck as he talks to Amanda about how their new computers make them feel like they are in the same room together. Which even back then no one talks like that, so it shows the ages of the authors. Scene changes to Rayford and there's now more confusion because of the plan for Hattie to get together with his wife, but we have Rayford suddenly not knowing why Hattie met with his family. Rayford suddenly has the desire to pick up Hattie at the airport but needs a car, and the only way to get one is if he talks to Nicolae. Scene changes to Buck and he starts a live chat with Cyan. Again, more boomer clout as face chatting amazes them. Cyan wants breakfast with some company because he says he's feeling claustrophobic. Buck leaves work and gets stopped by Verna in the parking lot. She wants to know where Buck is going and we get the typical "I'm not at liberty to tell you" stick. A quick scene changes to Rayford as he tries to enter the building Nicolae is in and we get told that dogs are acting up as they begin barking. This is supposed to be a warning that an earthquake is coming. A quick search revealed that the American Kennel Club states that dogs cannot detect earthquakes while other sites state they can. This is just a bit of foreshadowing by the authors that their worldwide earthquake is coming. As previously mentioned, an earthquake would be classified as a planet killer, meaning the world would end and no further judgments could happen if this occurred. Funny how God doesn't seem to know how his supposed creation works, even though the best and brightest debunk the Christian claims. Scene briefly shifts to Buck as he sees roadkill on the ground, meaning more supposed foreshadowing. Rayford meets with Nicolae and Leon, and they get interrupted by an emergency call about fluctuations from their power grid. Rayford looks out a window and sees dogs running wild all over the street. Rayford calls his co-pilot to get the plane ready for liftoff, but where did this come from? Rayford was trying to see Nicolae about renting a car. How close is the airport to Nicolae's office? This sudden need to get airborne is very strange and makes no sense with the context of what the authors had established. So they enter the plane and a group of people beg to get on board, but Nicolae orders the plane to fly without them. Rayford then becomes self-righteous and wants to kill Nicolae for not helping the people. A planet-killer worldwide earthquake would kill everyone no matter if you were flying or not. Once the planet cracks and breaks, everything even in the sky would be doomed. Scene changes to Buck as he self-righteously does the "I told you so" reflection because the supposed worldwide earthquake is happening in the story. We also get told of a lunar eclipse which occurred where the sun is covered as the moon turns red. This can only occur with lunar eclipses but not solar eclipses. The authors seem to be combining several judgments together here because after the worldwide earthquake there is a meteor shower that happens. Buck feels aftershocks happening and we get told a guy was in the middle of the street begging God to kill him and the ground splits open under him. The rest of the chapter is the devastation and how certain members of the church died but none of the Christian farce died. The epilogue is a verse from Revelation saying that the seventh seal was opened and the angels in heaven are preparing to blow 7 trumpets that bring a new wave of judgments. That finally ends the book. A very poorly written and not thought out book where the characters have become stale and uninteresting. The next entry will be an overlook of the entire book before we move on to book 4 titled Soul Harvest. See you next time.